Lockhart Perspective. Several Republican lawmakers shouted jeers at President Joe Biden during his State of the Union address Tuesday night, including after Biden claimed that some in Congress are trying to cut Social Security and Medicare in exchange for raising the debt ceiling, even though the House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, the Republican from California, has repeatedly said that is not an option. About midway through his speech, Biden said that some Republicans, quote, want to take the economy hostage unless I agree to their economic plans, closed quote, claiming that some in the GOP ranks are willing to let the country default on its debt unless cuts to Social Security and Medicare are made. The president briefly paused his speech after Republicans, the whole entire side of the House chamber, erupted into backlash. McCarthy, seated behind Biden, smirked and repeatedly said no, while television feeds showed Firebrand Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Republican of Georgia, standing up from her seat, shouting liar. The president responded to the rebuke saying, quote, I'm glad to see it. I enjoy conversion, close quote. Biden faced a few other rounds of heckling during his speech. An unidentified Republican lawmaker appeared to yell, quote, it's your fault, unquote, when Biden began talking about fentanyl overdose deaths. And Greene appeared to shout, quote, China is spying on us, close quote. At another moment during the address, leader McCarthy, who reportedly urged his members to behave ahead of the primetime event, to shush Greene. Now, here's a surprising fact that Representative Joe Wilson, the Republican of South Carolina, caused a massive uproar in 2009 when he yelled out, quote, you lie, close quote. This was to the former president, Barack Obama, during a joint session of Congress. He quickly raised more than $1 million in campaign contributions after making the comment. One of the critical moments was when President Biden said, quote, no president added more to the national debt in 4 years than my predecessor, close quote. Biden said in an attack on former President Donald Trump, who he did not name through the entire speech. The debt ceiling loomed over Biden's address as one of the biggest issues heading into the night, but he only spoke for a brief time about it. The White House has repeatedly said that it will not negotiate spending cuts with Republicans in exchange for raising the debt ceiling, even though McCarthy insists a decrease in spending is essential, though he has not publicly identified what programs he would like to see cut. Outside of saying Social Security and Medicare would not be affected, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the federal government has until early June to raise the debt ceiling, or else the country will not be able to pay its bills, which would likely send stocks plunging and push the nation into a recession. Okay. Biden and other Democrats have accused Republicans of seeking to cut Social Security and Medicare in the past, often citing a proposal by Senator Rick Scott, the Republican of Florida, to require federal laws to automatically sunset after 5 hours, a policy that could include the two popular programs. Biden made no mention of negotiating with Republicans to reach an agreement to raise the debt ceiling, even as he made bipartisanship a consistent theme throughout his speech. Debt ceiling showdown, McCarthy and Biden. Well, they had a very good discussion pretty much earlier on. But where this whole entire thing ends, nobody knows. Because in my opinion, this is from the narrator, it's all one big show. For Headlines with a Voice, this has been the Lockhart News Brief. The Lockhart Perspective.